Thank you to the Bernstein Center. We're very excited to present our research about using a Super Mario video game to studying the effects of automation. Bruce Kogut and Patrick Perkowski are also on this call in case there's very many questions in the chat, or I can answer the questions at the end in the Q&A. So in recent years, many have pointed to the amazing developments in the field of artificial intelligence. And many have claimed we'll soon be approaching the age of AI. And the idea is that AI will be substituting what humans do. So AI can either help us or take our jobs, but they will do things better than humans. And this discussion has mostly ignored what happens when we introduce AI inside organizations and let it collaborate together with humans. So how does AI affect the performance of teams? How does it affect team coordination, the trust, and the effort that team members exert? These questions, of course, are difficult to answer because they're especially difficult to measure. So what we do in this experiment is to run an experiment in the lab and study the introduction of AI in a team where AI collaborates with humans. They play a game that requires team-based communication and coordination. We bring 235 subjects in the lab. We have them playing this game, and then we randomly assign some teams to play together with an AI and some teams to just stick with a human-only team. The game they're playing is Dash and Dine in Super Mario Party. This is a coordination-based game, so it's perfect to study team effects. There are 4 players playing the game. And so there's 2 players on the left that are working together, and 2 players on the right that are working together. They are collecting ingredients for recipes, so tomato, lettuce, and bacon, and they have 1 minute for each round. They move around the screen, and they try to collect these ingredients to complete the recipes as fast as possible without interfering one with the other. And the nice thing about this game is that we can introduce a simple automated agent that collaborates with the humans. And additionally, another interesting feature is that we can observe everything that happens in this game. So we can directly look at what players do when they play, in particular, whether they manage to coordinate between themselves or not. So this actual gameplay video that I'm going to show you, you'll see that Mario, who's on the left, needs to get the lettuce in the bottom right. Peach and Luigi want to go in the opposite direction, and they need to coordinate and cross to avoid bumping into one another and waste their time. So we see Mario is going to the right, and then Peach is there, and then Luigi is there. And so they fail to coordinate properly. Mario does not manage to get the lettuce yet. And this leads the organization to lose 8 seconds as they try to get their ingredients and bring them back to the table. So we study what happens when we introduce AI in this game. You see the red line is the moment where we introduce AI. And from that moment on, if we look at the blue dots, we see there is a negative performance effect of introducing AI. So although AI is a very good player and we should expect a positive effect, we see the number of ingredients that the teams collect goes down. At the same time, these teams fail to coordinate more and more often. So we see an increase in the coordination failures of the teams. We also asked the humans to complete a survey at the end. And in particular, we focus on how much they trusted their partner and how much effort they put into playing the game, if they were playing with AI or with other human members. And we see that humans trust their AI partner less than other human members. And also, very interestingly, that they exert less effort themselves in playing their own game. So previous work had shown that when people play with other humans, good human players, they exert more effort. When playing with AI, they actually exert less effort. So in conclusion, much of this debate about AI is about what automation can do And we think we need to move a little bit beyond that and not view tasks only in isolation. We know that teams matter for humans, they matter also for machines, and automation affects team performance, team coordination in these human AI teams. So when we introduce machines, we should think a bit more broadly about the effects on the whole organization. So the impacts on the humans that are playing with the AI, more broadly, the organizational culture, maybe how to design teams that have automated agents in them. And a lot of this debate is really about which are the human workers that are substituted. We see here that it's very important also which human workers stay in the organization and collaborate with AI, because there are important differences between them. And this allows to move a little bit beyond this AI determinism that we often hear. So what organizations we build, who exactly is substituted. These decisions are very important. They're made by organizations, and they will have an impact on how the future of work and also the future more broadly will look like. Thank you.
Perfect. In the chat, a lot of people are asking about the intensive testing that probably had happened before this research was put into place. So I think a lot of people are a little jealous about the game playing, but we don't have any questions as of yet. Oh, here we go. Did you train AI with AI in the game first?
No, so this AI was embedded in the game already. So that's one of the advantages of using this game. We use the best AI available in the game, and that's why on average, the AI performs better than the human players when it performs by itself. But then introducing this good AI into the human teams actually decreases the performance of the team. So that's one of the interesting dynamics. But the AI itself was developed within the game.
Okay, and then the next question, did you test again after training the humans to work with AI?
Not afterwards, no. But what we see, so we had them playing a number of rounds, and what we see is that there is a very strong effect at the beginning, a negative effect of introducing AI, and an increase in coordination failure, so a decrease in coordination. And then over time, humans learn to play with AI, and by the last rounds, we see this effect becomes very negligible. So it's really a disruption that happens after humans have played a little bit together. Then we disrupt them, and then they adapt.